I'm Phil Rickaby, the host of Stageworthy, and this is the podcast's 100th episode. Stageworthy is a podcast about Canadian theatre makers featuring conversations with actors, directors, playwrights, and more. And since 100 is a major milestone in the life of any podcast, I am celebrating this week with some audio excerpts from some of my favorite conversations from the past 100 episodes. I'll be posting these all week on Facebook and Twitter, where you can find Stageworthy at StageworthyPod. My guest for this 100th episode is my friend, actor and singer Sarah Lynn Strange. Sarah spent this past summer working in 3 shows, starting at Waterloo, performing in Singing in the Rain with Drayton Entertainment, and then in Port Hope, performing in My Fair Lady and Beauty and the Beast with Port Hope Festival Theatre. And you'll be able to see her again in December in A Christmas Story at the Sudbury Theatre Centre. So this summer,
yes.
You spent like the whole summer in Port Hope?
No. I started my summer in March, question mark.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was April, May, June, July, August, September. So first I did Singing in the Rain with Drayton. So that was in Waterloo.
Okay. Yeah.
St. Jacobs County Playhouse.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if they were both Drayton theaters, but...
No, Drayton was only for Singing in the Rain, and then I went to Port Hope Capitol Theatre to do My Fair Lady and Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Like a full 7 months of work.
That's pretty impressive, yeah. This is your second season with doing something with Drayton?
I did the Panto a couple years ago. I didn't do anything last season with Drayton. And then this season, Singing in the Rain, which was glorious.
And who were you in Singing in the Rain?
I had Dora Bailey.
Oh, of course you were Dora Bailey.
Hello out there. This is Dora Bailey talking to you in front of Commons in Hollywood. Da, da, da. Yeah, she's a nut bar. When we tried on the costumes, they gave me this beautiful floor length, like crushed velvet floral, 1920s. It was spectacular. And I looked, and the name tag they had borrowed it from Stratford Festival. I said to the costume lady, I was like, well, this is about as close as I'm ever going to get to Stratford.
Well, you never know. You don't know that. They've been doing lots of musicals?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
They like younger dancers, question mark? Unless you're an established name, and I'm not as established. I'm working on it.
Yeah, well, you gotta work at it, slog away.
Yeah. Like a Mervis show would help.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If only Mervis was producing more shows than they were touring in.
Come From Away would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Yeah, I mean, that was just a little show, Come From Away.
Just a casual year-long contract in my own city.
Sure.
No big deal.
No
90 minutes, no intermish.
Yeah.
Just casual.
Just a little thing.
Home and in bed by 10.
Totally. Just a little show.
Just a tiny.
It's not like anybody cares about it or anything.
Just casual. Just a casual musical.
Yeah. I think that's the only one they're producing this year.
Oh, sadly. They're doing a co-pro of Fun Home with Musical Stage Company, which is going to be amazing. Cynthia Dale's playing Helen. Nice. And that's going to be amazing.
Nice. Yeah. No, I totally want to see that, because Fun Home was on the list before Hamilton obliterated my desire to see anything else.
It's a beautiful show.
Yeah. Did you see it?
No, but I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I've listened to it nonstop.
Yeah.
Added Helen to my dream role list, which I don't know if I'm aging past, question mark?
Well,
whatever.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter if you age past it, as long as people believe you can play it.
Truth.
There's still really old people playing Romeo and Juliet.
Well, Shakespeare's adapted.
It's hard to believe when the geriatrics are coming out, trying to pretend they're 13. It's a little. Yeah, but there's been people playing those roles to the 60s, so
True.
Yeah.
True. So I was also miscellaneous wardrobe lady.
Okay.
Yes. I can't remember what I named her. She had
miscellaneous wardrobe lady in Singing in the Rain?
Yeah. So I can't remember what character name I gave her.
Okay. But did she What does Miscellaneous Wardrobe Lady do?
Miscellaneous Wardrobe Lady basically just fixes and fawns after what's her butt? Because it was 3 contracts ago, and now I can't remember their names because I'm a terrible human.
What's her fucking name? I love the movie. You'd think I could remember her name.
Dawn and Kathy and the other... the one that talks about Lena Lamont. Okay.
Lena Lamont. Yeah.
Okay. Jamie Armstrong played it, and she was brilliant. Yeah, very, very funny. So I basically just fawned after her, but I was also on the bitter bus. Like, I made strong acting choices. She just hated her life.
Okay, well.
She was from New Jersey and hated her life.
Well, technically, if your job was to fawn after Lena Lamont, you probably you would hate your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you did that show?
Yeah, I finished that. I actually had a really neat moment while doing that show. You know, like, you're moving a set piece.
Yeah.
And you're like, I went to theater school, and I'm moving a set piece. I just got a little like,
yeah.
Oh, God. And it was during tech, and we were sitting backstage, and they, cue rain, and it rained on stage. And as it was starting to rain, and you could hear the rain on the stage, like the beginning of the pitter patter.
Yeah.
And the orchestra started, and then Tim, who was playing Don, started in on the doodle doo doo doody doodle doo doody, and I was like. It was like magic, and I stood in the wing and just sort of wept, and I was like, "Oh, theater magic!" Like, it filled my heart. I was like, "Oh, this is great.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I needed. I needed a little bit of theater magic to get my heart in the right place." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah,
it was really neat.
That's cool. I mean, that's the thing is, like, people don't expect rain in a theater.
Yes.
And so when you can do it, it's like.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't really do that particular song if you can't make it rain.
Yes.
I think a lot of audiences are expecting, like, sound effect, and then they'll pretend it's raining.
Right, and they'll do the lights with the thunder and the lightning and all of that.
But if you can't make it rain, like,
and it was actual rain.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So I needed that. I needed a little bit of that, like, 8-year-old me being like, theater magic.
Did you have a relationship with Singin' in the Rain before this show?
I actually saw it for the first time in a movie theater. Every now and then Cineplex Odeon does that. Like, we're going to play a classic. Yeah. It's going to be $10. So I saw it in a movie theater with Katie and Ben, I think, and Esther.
Yeah.
And Arthur, I believe. Oh, God. A few years ago, and that was the very first time I had ever seen it. I know.
What?
I know. I'm fired.
It's like the perfect movie musical.
It is the perfect movie musical.
Right?
Yes. And then hearing all of the backstage drama, how he didn't want Debbie Reynolds and was awful to her throughout the filming, and how they filmed that entire scene in one take.
Yeah.
The
Broadway Rhythm, or which one?
No, the one with the couch.
Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
I know.
Like, well, so, I mean, he was like a stickler for that sort of thing. Yes. So it's, they didn't have any way to blend the film the way that we do now, so you could like fake not doing a single take.
And Cosmo's, oh God,
Make Him Laugh.
Make Him Laugh was all one take.
Yeah,
too. That's crazy.
And I don't know how he did that because. Actually, no, I do, because he went to the hospital after. Legend has it. That he was like, well, he's throwing himself. I mean, that was like a concrete floor that he's throwing himself onto. There's not a sprung floor in that studio. So he was like throwing himself around, and then they did it, and then they made him do it again. And he was like, they made him do it again. And he was like, I think we're done. And I need to go away.
Yeah.
And I think he spent a couple of days in the hospital because of that one.
Wow.
But,
See, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I had never seen it before. And then that was my first time. And then I got the offer, and I was like, yes. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went from there.
I went from there. I had a couple weeks off in between, and then I started rehearsals for My Fair Lady with Port Hope Capitol Theatre. I was playing Mrs. Eynsford Hill, so I got to be very, very British.
Yes.
I was on stage for 17 minutes, 21 seconds, and 34 milliseconds. It is a 3-hour, 15-minute musical. I know the exact timing because I actually had one of the stagehands stopwatch it for me, which was very funny to me. I held a contest. With the artistic directors, okay. I held a contest. $5 bought you a guess as to exact time that I was physically on the stage. And it was 50-50. So the winner got half the pot, and the other half I donated to the Actors Fund of Canada. And Kyle Galemba got it right. I think he guessed 19 minutes 21 seconds. Brilliant. And two of my lines were about being sick. I mean, the Eynsford Hills are very concerned about influenza and pneumonia. Yes, which are very fun words to say.
That show's 3 hours long.
Fucking
60s.
Yeah. But fabulous.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a great musical.
Yes.
And it's...
I mean, like a little Stockholm Syndrome. But...
Well, you know, but I mean, that's what the Bernard Shaw play was. So it was like very much...
And Ellen Denny, who played Eliza, was beautiful. Her choices. So she played it strong enough that it wasn't like when she finally sings that song at the end. And she's like, it was easier to see his hurt.
Right.
David Lation played Higgins, and he was beautiful with his choices because he made some really neat hurt choices. Yeah, and so it was easier to like him, I guess, because you hate him.
Well, he's really easy to hate. He's really easy, and it's hard in that musical to feel the sympathy that you kind of need to feel for him at a certain point.
And why she goes back.
Because it's really, I mean, at a certain point, because I think that it's about her. Yeah. But because it's like written by dudes, I think they focus a lot more on him. And
it's not about the romance. There is no romance.
No,
right?
Exactly.
It's about a partnership and a friendship and a mutual respect. And,
It's weird. Did you know that when they were doing that, Rex Harrison, when in rehearsal, refused to read like the lines from their script, and he would only read like the Bernard Shaw script lines?
Oh my god!
Like fuck! Like he didn't want to do a musical.
It
was like dick move shit right there, but you know.
You know, you're Rex Harrison.
Well, you know, he got to do whatever he wanted. I mean, he played that role for forever. You know, he was the definitive non-singing singer.
Be more like a man.
I know. Yeah, I have such difficulty because you know when I was a kid listening to movie soundtracks or musical soundtracks, like his delivery of all of those numbers is burned into my mind. Like I cannot picture.
And their actual notes are written on the page. Right. They're actual songs. It's not just like little X's.
No, but I've never heard it sung because I've only ever, like in my mind, I only know him speaking it.
And I think people are expecting the sing. They're not expecting notes.
No.
Right?
No. Well, that's because that's like anybody who knows that show, that's really all we know.
Yeah. Fascinating.
And then you went from that into Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
And you were playing...
Madame de la Grande Bouche. Former opera singer. Turned wardrobe. She was... I was waiting all summer for her. She was such a... she was an amalgamation of... she was a little bit Dora Bailey, but she was mostly Sister Mary Patrick.
Okay.
From Sister Act. Like the champagne bubbles and ooh. Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of ridiculousess. Yeah. And I got to be pretty sassy in my 5-foot wide costume, so
well, that's quite the costume. You got
5 feet wide. 5 feet wide. Weighed about, I think, 35 pounds.
Jeez.
Metal and wood cage, and my panniers opened. So when I say, would you like to borrow one of my gowns? Let's see what I've got in my drawers. And then I would open, my pannier, and she would pull out the underwear. Mm-hmm. No. And the other side, like, it was kind of ridiculous. Yeah. And Carrie Gage choreographed it and was fantastic. And during our guest, she had me come out and do paddle turns. Like a 5-foot wide wardrobe, coming out and doing paddle turns like for days. It was kind of brilliant. Nice. Told my mom I had a dance solo.
That theater in Port Hope has struck me as beautiful. I haven't seen the inside, but it's got that just from the outside. You can tell it's like this is one of those old vaudeville roadhouse type places.
It used to be a movie theater.
Yeah.
It is haunted.
Oh yeah.
2 ghosts.
Oh shit.
Yeah. A male and a female. Mm-hmm. They only know that based on the sounds of the footsteps when they walk. The woman is wearing high heels.
Okay.
But there's a lot of great ghost stories that we heard this summer, which is
nice.
I'm obsessed.
Well, I mean,
I'm so obsessed.
We always hear about the theater ghost, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, to be in a theater where there's like,
and there is no ghost light. The Capitol doesn't put up a ghost light.
What?
I know. Fascinating.
I guess they're just trying not to encourage them or something.
I guess so, yeah. But they also have a whole bunch of twinkle lights on the ceiling. Mm-hmm. The ceiling is painted like a sky, and there's twinkle lights that are actual constellations.
Yeah.
The inside of the theater is like a castle. It's really beautiful. Yeah. And they brought in an actual castle to use as the set with stairs and everything, and platforms, and it was pretty great. I
find, like, I've been in a bunch of different small towns around Ontario and other places. And there's always like this one old beautiful theater, whether it was a movie theater or a vaudeville house, like these remnants of like the vaudeville circuits that gave us like these gorgeous theaters. They're still there. Like you just like walk into this little town, but there's this gorgeous theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Capitol it's beautiful. Did you see it? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
It was filmed in Port Hope.
Oh, was it?
And the Capitol is really nicely featured.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Which is pretty great. It's easy to not be as afraid when you're like, oh, that's where I buy my pastries.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
hard to be afraid of the movie when you're like, I know where that is.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you did a couple of seasons in Calgary?
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, right.
Yes. So I did Sister Act, which was, I think to date, one of my favorite characters that I've ever played. Yeah. And I didn't get enough time with her. Like, when you have to say goodbye to a character, I still mourn her.
Was it a short run?
A fairly short run, like 3.5 weeks.
Oh, that's hardly enough time.
Yeah. I mean, the theater is ginormous. It's like a 2,300 seat theater.
Is that outdoor theater?
Ish. Yeah. There's sort of a dome lid, and then it's like open on the side. So the sound is challenging because it's a dome. Yeah. But also the outside is open, so the sound is going in. So relearning sort of how to enunciate, because with Rainbow you have to do shadow vowels, which goes against everything you've ever learned. So say, for example, like Sister Act, right? Like raise your voice. Raise your voice. With Rainbow, it would be raise your voice. Let your freak flag fly, or whatever, from Shrek, which is the other show I did. Yeah. Let's just amalgamate 2 songs. One song.
Did you have to be mic'd for that too?
Yeah, mic'd. Yeah. Which is, of course, another challenge for a sound person. It's a huge sound challenge. But a very fulfilling show, because you start the show in the daytime. Basically, it's 8 o'clock p.m. You can see the audience.
Oh, shit.
But think of the challenge for the lighting tech, because during tech week, they don't just tech for nighttime, dark. They also tech for daytime, and they have to switch it depending on when the sun goes down. So these amazing light techs are able to make it look like it's nighttime on stage when it's light out, which is fascinating. But you can see all of the faces. Wow. When you start the show, and then they've got the passarella, which goes out into the audience, which is glorious. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Glorious. So Sister Act, and then the following summer, I got invited back to go to Shrek. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Did you play a couple of roles in Shrek? Or just...
I did. Mama Ogre. So I was Shrek's mom at the top of the show when she sends him away on his 7th birthday to go and be an ogre in the world. Yeah. And then I had 3.5 minutes to change into pig number 1, which was, like, I think the quick change. Like 3.5 minutes sounds like a lifetime, considering that... oh God, Kelly O'Hara did her change in King and I think it was like 85 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Her quick change was super fast in King and I.
Yeah.
So 3.5 minutes sounds like a long time, but I was full green.
Yeah.
I was full green and like combat boots, and I had to. So you have technique, right? Donna was my dancer, and as I'm coming off stage, I am like taking off my gloves and stepping out of my boots, and she's unzipping my dress, and I'm taking off the wig, and then I'm getting the green. So it was the same eye makeup and the same lipstick.
Okay.
From from Mama Ogre into Pig, and I just had to base, and then pink, which I was doing, and then wig as Donna was like putting on my hoofs and zipping me up into what I lovingly call the foam lined snowsuit. Yeah, which was the pig. They're ginormous,
of
right?
course,
like the pigs in Shrek are ginormous in German. We are standing right here, like super.
It's just like, it's one of those like the whole quick change thing is like one of those like theater.
Yes.
Like when you see it, the way that it works.
Yeah.
Like they had at the Tony Awards when that quick change happened for The King and I.
Yes.
They had like a backstage camera.
Yes,
you could like see that change.
Glorious.
And it like those kinds of things. Also, there's a couple of opera companies that will let you watch the chorus do complete changes, and it's just like the science of it and the mechanics of it are just fascinating.
Thousand Island Playhouse just did a backstage camera for a quick change for a show that they just did. Oh, I can't remember the name of the show. Where he's changing from a man into a woman. Yeah. Like pearls and stockings and the whole deal. It's like a minute or something. Like it's so crazy. Quick changes make me invigorated and stress me out.
Well, they should, because they're like it's a tightrope where everything and you have to practice that shit so much. Like I remember working years ago as an usher at the Royal Alexandra during Les Mis, and you would the more you watch the show, the more you sort of see the seams of it. Yeah. And so as an usher watching, like that person goes off and then they come back on as a completely different character in a different makeup and a different costume, and you realize how quickly they went off and came back, and just like.
Well, and Shrek is the master of quick changes because of Fiona. Oh yeah, because she is going from full ogre into Princess Fiona, right? In seconds. One of the changes for that show was particularly glorious to watch because they built a shed that was completely open concept. So, do you remember Shrek the Musical?
I don't.
Sort of ish.
Yeah, sort of ish.
You watched it?
I haven't watched it. No.
Oh, you need to watch it.
Is it on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's so great. Okay. Shrek the Musical. Everybody needs to watch it. It's brilliant. Because Sutton Foster is.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Glorious.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's the second night where they camp in the cave. Where she's she's in the house where Shrek overhears her talking about like who could ever love an ogre, and he assumes that she's talking about him when she's talking to Donkey. But that shed that they built was completely open concept, and it was on a revolve. So they had sort of from the time that she went into the shed, had the conversation with Donkey, and then it would turn, and it was all open for her to change from full ogre into Princess Fiona. Wow. And it was like seconds. Glorious. Wow. Glorious.
That kind of stuff is really exhilarating to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember the first time I watched Into the Woods and the witch transformation.
Yes.
Which, in the filmed version, you kind of see the background because there's like somebody going across the screen and you're like, oh, it's the double. But like on stage, it just would have been like so quick, and you wouldn't have even seen it.
My favorite quick change also to watch during Shrek, there was like she does this like flute solo piper rat situation, and all the tap dancers have rats on their tap shoes, and they're tapping, and the curtain is up about I don't know I don't know how many feet is that.
It's a foot and a half, 2 feet.
So that it's all just the rats tapping, and then the curtain comes down and then goes back up, and they're full rats. So they're all like in full tuxedos. So they had to all rip off all of their rat shoes and throw them. And there was 4 dressers running from one side of the stage to the other side of the stage with laundry hampers, picking up the rats and catching the rats. Jesus. It was my favorite.
Yeah.
And every night watching... on my side of the stage, it was Allie and Leslie. Leslie every night would be like, ah! and Allie every night was like, yes! Like, it was my favorite. I used to get into the wings specifically to watch all the rats being thrown askew because it was my favorite. I love it. Nice. See, that's theater magic.
Yeah, that is theater magic. It's like in the Book of Mormon when they suddenly appear in their pink vests.
Yes.
And the first time you see it, you're like, what the fuck? Yes. And then later on, if you see it again, you might catch it. But like the first time when it just happens, it just blows your mind. It is like, those lights were out for just a second.
Yes. Brilliant. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I have a little bit of an obsession with going on YouTube and watching quick change fails. My current favorite is I don't even know what production it is of Frozen that's happening right now. And there's a girl singing Let It Go. And the lights go down and then come up too soon. And then her thing gets stuck and she's literally like pulling. It's like...
Is that the like the previews that are happening in DC right now?
I don't think so. Okay, I think that quick change is beautiful. Have you watched that?
No, I haven't watched that yet. No.
She sort of steps back and the curtain comes up and then it's her ice palace. And then just as she gets to the part of the song where her dress would have changed, her other dress literally just goes and goes into some sort of pocket of the stage somewhere. It's pretty amazing. I've watched it a few times. No, this is like from some theme park.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Like maybe Tokyo Disney. I don't even know. But it's a hardcore fail. Yeah. It's like, it's been my new favorite one. It's like watching somebody introduce me to the Peter Pan flying fails.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God, yeah. Phil. I can't, like, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard it hurts. Like some of them, like... Yeah. Oh, I can't. Like flying into the wall. Oh God. Anyway,
and like, how's your voice been since? Because years ago we talked about your thyroid cancer, and you had that removed, and you had your big farewell to my voice party, and then found out because you expected that you would never sing again.
Yes. I was given an extraordinarily high percentage that I would never sing again ever.
Yeah.
It was 10
I remember how
weeks.
devastated you were about that. Like, you didn't know what you were going to do.
Maybe the scariest year of my life.
Yeah.
2012. August 24th was the date of my surgery. It was scary. It was a scary time. I was 10 weeks post-surgery that I finally got my full voice back. And it was like working. I wasn't allowed to even hum a note for 2 weeks post-surgery. Wow. Which...
That must have been like torture, because you just want to know, right?
Well, you know me, right? Like, I just randomly sing.
How do you not sing?
I just randomly sing.
Yeah.
Like random words. I'm going to the laundromat.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, it was 2 weeks of that, of like not even being allowed to really hum or just barely even talk. And then I started slow. So did I tell you about the woman in Vegas? Did I tell you about this whole story?
I don't know.
So Katie, bless her, my best friend, was really amazing. And she went on a quest online because I kept going online and typing in thyroid cancer singers, and everything was coming back. I never sang again. It was all nightmares. You're gonna die. Like like WebMD. Right?
Yeah.
My baby toe hurts. You have cancer.
Yeah.
It was all devastating stuff. So she went on a quest for positive things.
Right.
And she found a woman in Vegas who was playing Christine, who got diagnosed with thyroid cancer and was back on stage playing Christine 2 months post-surgery. Fuck. So I wrote her an email and she wrote back. I still have it. I have it saved. Because her response was really, really amazing. It was like, singing is not who we are. Which is a hard thing to realize.
Yeah.
Because it is such a huge part of who I am.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing I've ever wanted to do with my life ever.
Yeah.
How many people can say that about their passions?
No,
right?
it's true. Yeah.
And I was in a really bad place when I got diagnosed. I was like, I'm going to have to shut down Facebook because looking at other people's rehearsal pictures and opening night pictures and costume pictures is pretty much like I'm probably not going to survive. Like I'm probably going to sort of have to not be on this planet. Like it was not a great place to be.
Yeah.
And so for the first 2 weeks, no singing, no nothing, not even humming. And then I started slow using the vocal warm-ups that this girl from Vegas told me about. She said, start easy, hums only, don't use any vowels, like no open mouth stuff. And it was hard. I had one note, and then I had 3, and then I had 5. Like it was a slow process. And then I remember when I had a full octave, I was like, okay, I have 8 notes. I can do a lot with 8 notes. Yeah. Like this is great. I can do a lot with 8. And then it was, 12, and then it was 2 octaves, and then it was 3, and then it was stronger than it was before. And it was freer because I didn't have a 9-centimeter tumor wrapped around my vocal cords. Like I knew that would complicate.
Well, I mean, you don't know what you don't know, again. Right?
Yeah. And it was stronger and clearer and better than it was before. I can randomly belt to an F now, which I could never do before. I lost a couple of notes in my upper register, like I lost some of my soprano. I can't really do much above a C sharp. I'm not stressed out about it.
Your voice is still like fucking powerful though. Like, cause I,
Thank you.
Saw you at Fringe last year and,
the Alien musical.
The Alien musical.
Yes.
And, opening number, everybody else has these little voices and then your voice. And I was like, well, they heard that one in the back. Like, your voice is so huge and I'm so glad that you didn't lose it.
The reviewer called my voice gut-punchingly beautiful. Which I think is the strangest compliment and maybe the best thing I've ever
need to get that like on a t-shirt or something. Like that's the kind of quote that you need. Like that's got to go on all your posters. I'm surprised you don't have that on your website.
Like probably
like
should.
You probably should.
Yeah,
like
probably should.
Just like create a little logo. It says her voice is gut-punchingly beautiful.
Yes.
Just get that on there because
thank you.
And so like it's still amazing.
Yeah.
And at one point you were talking about like maybe trying to do some kind of like one-woman show about that time, or are you done? Or is that behind you now?
I've gone back to it. I started writing the show, realized it was more of a narration than it was a play. So I left it for a little bit and I have gone back to it with my therapist's encouragement.
Yeah.
I have gone back to it. And it's interesting to revisit a time that was so confusing and blurry in my brain. Like I remember a lot of things very clearly and I don't remember a lot of things at all.
Have you talked to other people about the things you don't remember?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I do have like the recordings.
Okay.
Katie was really smart and she said like when you go in for your appointments with the surgeon and everything, record everything because he'll say things like you're never going to sing again and that's all you're going to hear.
Right.
And you're not going to hear everything else that he says. So go back and re-listen. So I've gone back and re-listened to a couple of those recordings, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Of course now.
Yeah.
Looking back, it's very interesting to go back and listen to those recordings. And, and to reread what I had written, which was when it was all very clear.
Of course,
happening. Yeah. So some stuff has changed, some stuff hasn't. It's evolving.
Is it still something that you think you want to do? Because I think at one point we talked and you were like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to relive that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have a moment every August 24th. I have sort of a happy cancerversary, 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't that lucky.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I mean, they say if you're going to get cancer, thyroid cancer is the one to get because it's the only one that uses the word cure.
Right.
But like my doctors can't even use the term cancer-free.
Right.
they haven't even used the word remission. My numbers are still sort of
Okay.
where they are, and that's fine. I go in and I see my endo every 4 months, question mark. We're constantly doing blood work. We're constantly checking everything.
Are they, so they're like, it's still like, they're not like cured in air quotes?
Yeah, like
or,
I am. Like air quote, cured. Yeah, I don't have to have any more surgery or radiation, which is great.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's great. I remember when you were. I remember your radioactive pill. That
was like the best. I mean, you were the one. You were the quote that I have used consistently over the last 5 years. That said, you were going to confuse every single medical professional that you come in contact with. Because I'm sarcastic. Like when I met my radiation doctor and there was an intern in the room and he was, this is awful to say, he was very old.
Yes.
And, he's, and you're going to do this and it's going to be this and you're going to do this. And I said, like, is it possible to get locked in a room like with an angry plant or like with a horde of awful spiders or something? And the intern, I can see him sort of like start to chuckle because he knows what I'm getting at. And the radiation doctor is like, no, there's no plants in the room. Like, and then, and then I get to this, lead-lined room that I had to be locked in for 3 days. And, the nurses don't really understand my humor. I get to the room and the woman that's going to be handing me my radioactive pill, she's going through the thing and she's saying, I'm going to bring you a canister and I'm going to open the canister and pull out a second canister. And then I'm going to open that second canister and then you're going to reach in and you're going to grab the third canister and you're going to open it up and you're going to take the pill. Do not touch the pill. And I said, I'm not allowed to touch the pill that's going into my mouth hole. And she said, you're not allowed to touch the pill that's going in your mouth hole. And I said, okay, don't touch the pill. Great. And then I'm going to swallow the pill. She said, I'm going to leave the room and you're going to swallow the pill. And then I'm going to come back in 5 minutes with a, like, I don't even know, like Geiger counter. She stood at the door and she was like, stand over there and I'm going to test your radiation levels. And I was like, amazing. So she went away and put on these big gloves and came back with the canister and she opens the canister and I said, oh, wait. Did you bring the canister that said teleportation? And she paused and like not even a glance of, like not even a smirk. She said, you don't get to choose your superpower. And I was like,
I love that woman.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally. I got a woman who gets me. Right? And then Katie was coming and taking pictures of me from across the hallway where I was holding up signs. I made signs that was like, I haven't noticed anything yet. I'm still waiting. And like one of the nurses kept coming in and she was like, anything? And I'm like, I'm not having croissant in Paris right now, so no teleportation skills. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think my superpower is finding good parking spots. Like, and I know that's not like the best superpower to have ever, but
it's really not a good superpower.
If you don't have a car in Toronto.
Yes, especially if you don't have a car in Toronto.
Yeah.
But, I suppose if you're with somebody who has a car and they need a parking spot, then that works, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Misfits?
I watched some of Misfits. I never got through the whole. I got through most of it.
That's like some people have the most random of superpowers, and I liked that because that's how I felt.
It's just like I've got the lame superpower.
I've got the lamest superpower in the world.
Yeah. In the past few years,
yes,
you've been doing more professional theater.
Yes,
and
so it was post cancer that I, when I could sing again, and I was like, okay, this is obviously what I'm supposed to be doing with my life in a fate, kismet-y type.
Yeah.
If you believe in that sort of thing, this is what I am meant to be doing with my life. So I fought pretty hard. I got signed with Townhouse, which is the largest and best talent agency in all of North America. And having a full team behind you is completely different. The agent I was with before was amazing and delightful, but mostly based in film and television.
Right.
Which is not where I want to be. I want to be singing. Yeah. So I've been able to get seen by a lot more people than I would have if I'd stayed with the former agent.
I think a lot of agents are thinking more of, like, if you tell them you just want to do theater, I don't think they're that interested.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to make a lot of money from you, they think.
And I've been able to, like, do things that I didn't even think were a possibility. I've been doing that cartoon, like 10 seasons of Fireman Sam, doing animation. I got to tell you, like, I want to do that. I want to go to a small room in my pajamas and make funny voices.
You know, there are people who do that, like, in, like, their living rooms. They have a little studio, and they can, like, bang out their voiceover, like, in their home.
That sounds terrible / amazing. I want to do that.
Both. Like, you still can do it in your pajamas.
I want to do books on tape. That's what I want to do. How great would that be?
That'd be pretty awesome.
Right?
As long as it's a good book.
Like a lot of, what are they called? Places that, English.
Publishing houses?
Use your words. Publishing houses, like they hire the author or like famous people.
Not always. There are people who do like voiceover, like who just do like random, because not every author is going to be a good reader.
Truth.
You know? Not everybody can be as good a reader as Neil Gaiman is of his own stuff.
Accurate.
And many people who write just terrible readers.
I mean, fair.
You know? And not everybody's going to rate a celebrity voice as the voice of their book.
Right.
So there's plenty of work out there.
All right. Well,
I'm just telling you.
I think that should be a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a thing.
As long as there's still a market for audiobooks.
Audible's still sponsoring podcasts. Not this one. But, you know, I mean, if they were to...
Holla, Audible.
If they were going to offer me money, I'd probably say, you know, I'd say yes. Audible.
Audible.
Which,
Audible.
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, because your episode, this is going to, like, milestone. You're going to be the 100th episode of this podcast.
High five.
Yep. So, Audible. 100 episodes. But, like, yeah. So,
fabulous.
Yeah. But back to the thing, like, Fireman Sam is, like, you've been doing it 5 years?
How long have I been doing Fireman Sam? I think I booked that in 2014. Ooh.
And that was originally a Welsh
Yes,
show?
It's apparently been on the air for a cajillion years. It used to be claymation.
Right.
And then they switched over to animation. But it's in Wales.
Yeah.
And it's very famous over in the UK. And then they tried to sell it. I believe what happened is they tried to sell it to America. And the accents were pretty hard to understand. As well, like Welsh. They make a 3-act play out of every single word.
Yes.
So we have been redubbing, randomly came to Canada to redub the animation from Wales to US. And so it's on Amazon Prime in the United States of America. But we've done 10 seasons.
That's incredible.
I know. Dilys Price, they've given me a lot of freedom with her, which I love.
Yeah.
She's sort of a scatterbrained, and her son, Norman, is a little bit of a nitwit. He lights a lot of things on fire. I mean, the funny thing about the Pontypandy is the name of the town. They don't have an insurance adjuster, and they use the entire town's resources to fight like a small restaurant fire, or like helicopters come and
it's like cartoons.
Fireman Sam is he's the man that saves the day. He is amazing.
Cartoons don't have to worry about insurance adjusters and things like that. They can bring in the whole, like, the town can bankrupt itself this week because last week didn't happen, you know?
Yeah. So Norman Price is my son, and he's a nitwit. He lights a lot of things on fire. He's constantly getting in trouble. Yes. So I spend a lot of time yelling at him and gasping, clutching my pearls.
And they've given you, like you were saying, they've given you a lot of freedom.
Yes,
with that.
We've made her a little sing-songy, which is kind of fun.
But the original, she was not.
She's not as sing-songy as I am. I definitely gave her a little bit more craziness. Yes, which is amazing.
That's great.
Yes.
When you mentioned earlier, speaking of sing-songing, you mentioned the panto that you did.
Oh,
Snow White that you did with Drayton.
I got to be a villain for the first time in my life.
Because you were an incredible villain.
Thank you.
And you made a real meal out of that character. And I think that everybody in the audience that I was in was like loving the heck out of you. It wasn't like I think everybody's like booing the villain, but it was so much fun because it was really great.
David Connolly, the director, told me that I needed to find my villain laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So we workshopped a couple of different laughs before we came to that one, which people still ask me about. People that came to see it, or when they're like, "Oh my God, you did that panto," and I saw that panto and that laugh, which is hysterical to me because it was a journey to finding her laugh. And
were you doing that did they tell you before you went into rehearsal, or was it part of the rehearsal process? It was part of the rehearsal process. To find your laugh.
Yeah. I had, so with thyroid cancer, I don't know if you know what your thyroid does. Do you know what your thyroid does?
I don't, actually.
So your thyroid regulates your anxiety level, it regulates your metabolism, and it regulates your fatigue level. So I am on synthetics that help me to regulate, but they're not actual thyroid, because actual thyroid is bad for people who have no thyroid, random, which is why I can't take like weight loss supplements, because they have a lot of powdered thyroid in them.
Right.
And it turns out if the level of pill that you're on is too high, your anxiety level is through the roof. So I have been experiencing panic attacks that I had never experienced before. Anxiety attacks at 40 is like a challenge.
Yeah.
If you've never had to sort of deal with them before. And I had a debilitating anxiety attack right before we opened. And fascinating to me now looking back on it.
Yeah.
But that whole rehearsal process. Drayton puts up entire musicals in 14 days, which is glorious, but it's also extremely intensive.
Yeah.
And I had this was my first big, massive show. I was getting my equity card.
Yeah.
I had a lead. I was being a villain, which I had never been before.
Yeah.
And I had sort of that, I'm not good enough. They made a mistake. They should have cast me.
Yeah.
Like hiding.
Yeah.
Hiding and crying in the dressing room. And, the girl playing Snow White came into the dressing room and she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay." And so she went to go get my friend Eric, bless, who came into the dressing room, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to drive you home. And then tomorrow's rehearsal doesn't start until noon. I'm going to come and get you at 9. And we're going to go somewhere and we're going to sit and we're just going to drill all of your scenes. We're just going to go through them just slowly one by one. We're just going to do them all." And it was amazing. And I went home and called Katie, my best friend, and she sort of talked me through how to come down and how to like self-care. And so now when I have an anxiety attack, I know exactly what's happening. I can feel it.
Yeah.
The palpitations and the sweat and the nausea and the hamster wheel of shit, which
that's,
is what I call this.
That's really difficult if like it's never happened before.
Yeah. I didn't even know how to identify it. Which is fascinating.
Well, when a lot of people, when they have an anxiety attack the first time, they think they're having a heart attack. Or something like that. People end up going to the hospital. Well,
it was an anxiety attack that brought me to the hospital in the first place, which was what led to me getting diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, because I know that you'd been putting it off. Like, your doctor had been like, "Your thyroid's a little enlarged. You should go to the..."
"I can actually physically see your thyroid. Maybe you should go get this thing." And I was
that was for years.
Whatever.
You were...
It was 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years ignoring what turned out to be a tumor.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just a swollen lymph node. It's not a big deal. Now, because I take the synthetics, so ridiculous. Because I take the synthetics, most days my body's like, "Cool, yeah, great."
Yeah.
Every now and then my body's like, "No, that was a fake pill. Jig us up." So those days are like low energy. Those days are not good days.
Well, there was a period, like right after the surgery. Did they put you on the pills right after?
No, I was on 0 pills for 2 months because I couldn't have any thyroid in my system at all when I went into radiation.
Oh, shit, right.
Yeah. So, I was a blob. I think I was sleeping 23 hours a day.
Well, yeah.
Looking at a salad and gaining 8 pounds. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't even need to eat the burger. I'll just pretend I ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, like...
And then they have to start you really low. So I was on like...
So, like, it's like...
0.25. Now, at the time I was working at the Foggy Dew, and they were brilliant about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was sort of... When I would get to the point of my shift where I was done, and I mean, like, I have to go now.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, great. And they had sort of a contingency plan. Somebody would stay and close. They were scheduling me on early shifts instead of on closes. And I was just sort of easing back into it, which was really difficult. But everybody was really amazing about
good.
it, which is great.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and I mean, not that I've been working consistently, but I finally got my equity card.
But I mean, it rare is the actor that's working consistently.
Accurate.
You know?
Accurate.
And that's one of the things
this industry in Toronto is really hard.
Well, I mean, when there's one big producer in town and everybody else is indie, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, Drayton, they are the largest producer of musical theater in Ontario, and their contracts, I think they go from like, I think it's like February through December. Like it's quite a long,
that's
it's all year round.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
Which is amazing.
That's
like, what do they do? 15 shows a year? 16 shows a year? That's amazing.
Yeah. But I mean, in Toronto itself, there's just Marvish. Really?
Yes. The acting up... Oh, God, it's not acting upstage.
Is it the musical stage?
Musical stage company?
Yeah.
Yes. They, it looks like it's going to be... It looks like it's going to be great.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 Because we're... Like, as far as musicals go, there's, like, not that many that are doing professional musicals in the city, and that's a problem.
Who's producing Grease?
I don't know. Starfox, okay. Maybe.
Well, the 3 leads are Americans.
Oh, fuck. Maybe it's Starfox.
Nothing against the Americans.
But it's still like, you know, we have a dearth of theater competition.
And how many actors? 380,000?
A million actors in the city. Half of, probably 3/4 of which are all wanting to do a musical.
Yes.
So, you know, that's why everybody's doing indie and everybody's hoping to, you know, that's why Fringe is insane, because everybody wants to have the next Kim's Convenience or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Or the next Drowsy.
Or the next Drowsy Chaperone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. The fact that like, I do feel like Fringe in Toronto has an identity problem because that's our focus.
Yeah.
So what's going to be the next big show, instead of like, let's check out let's let people experiment and like things like that, you know?
How much Fringe did you get to this year?
Oh, almost none.
Oh,
almost none. I got to see maybe 2 shows this
bummer.
year. I was in the middle of a breakup and a move, so I didn't, it was like not the right timing.
Yeah.
But you know, usually I had a media pass that I didn't use.
Oh,
because it was just like, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So,
I actually managed to get to 5 shows this year.
5 shows?
What? 5?
That's pretty incredible.
I mean, I'm not Derek Chua or anything, but...
Who is?
0 people.
Just Derek Chua?
He is...
I don't know how he does it, because if I see more than 3 shows in a day, I can't remember. Like, if I go to 4 shows in a day, I can't remember the 4th. I don't know anything.
He has a time machine.
He has to.
Yes.
He has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes over and sees shows at the Hamilton Fringe, because I remember he came to see mine. Like, he's like a machine, you know?
He has a time machine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and then still he makes time to go to Statler's, like on Monday nights.
Is he like a regular at Statler's?
Yeah. He comes pretty regularly, which is kind of great.
He's just a guy who likes theater.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more of those.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. Did you host Statler's when you came back?
I did. Last week.
You came into town, you came back, and...
I literally finished my contract. Had an audition Monday morning. So I finished my contract Sunday afternoon. Had an audition Monday.
Uh-huh.
And Jenny Walls asked me to host Statler's on Monday night. So I hosted Monday night.
Crazy. What does hosting at Statler's entail? And then this is Statler's, like, come in and sing?
It's Monday night musical theater open mic.
Yeah.
So anybody can sing. There's always a sign-up sheet.
Yeah.
There's a piano player, Donovan Lenabbit, and Jamie Bird plays the drummy cajon thing. Okay. You know the fun drum box?
Yes. Yeah.
What is that called?
I don't know. But...
I think it's called a cajon.
Okay.
Cajon. And So he plays that, and then you host. So it's usually like 2 or 3 songs. And then you open up the list, and whoever signs up, signs up. Wow. And there's a little intermission. You know, you do a little like, how was your summer? Cha-cha. What's your name?
Yeah.
Have you ever sung here before? You know,
Crazy.
you just host.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jenny's like a pro at it.
Yeah.
I think 5 years now.
Well, she hosted the Christmas concert for Confidential last year, year before?
Yes, she did. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. She's a fantastic hostess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I think that we are about out of time. But this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being my 100th guest.
Thanks for having me on as your 100th guest. High five 100.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a much better.
That was a really good one.